Have you ever wondered if your isolation phase is finally ending? Let me share a personal story. I withdrew from social activities a few years ago and spent more time alone. It was a difficult period during which I felt disconnected from the world. But slowly, things started to change. I began receiving more social invitations, rediscovered my love for painting, and noticed a significant improvement in my mental health. These small changes signaled the end of my isolation phase and the beginning of a new chapter in my life. Stay with me till the end of this video to discover the 7 signs that your isolation phase is ending. Understanding these signs can help you embrace the positive changes happening in your life and prepare you for a brighter future. One of the first and most noticeable signs that your isolation phase is ending is the resurgence of your social connections. Picture this: for months, perhaps even years, you've felt detached from the people around you. Friends' invitations went unanswered, family gatherings seemed like a chore, and meeting new people felt daunting. But now, something has changed. You find yourself answering texts, returning calls, and even initiating plans. This shift doesn't happen overnight but gradually, like ice thawing after a long, harsh winter. Your desire to reconnect with others signals a pivotal moment in your journey out of isolation. Think about Jane, a 34-year-old graphic designer who, after moving to a new city, found herself in a prolonged period of loneliness. For the first year, she rarely left her apartment outside of work. But then, she noticed a change. She started saying yes to lunch invitations from colleagues, joining online groups related to her interests, and even reaching out to old friends she hadn't spoken to in years. These small but significant steps mark the beginning of the end of her isolation phase. Jane's story is a testament to the power of social reconnection as a sign of emerging from solitude. Another clear indicator that you're moving past isolation is improving your emotional resilience. When you're isolated, it often feels like a heavy burden. Every minor setback can seem overwhelming, and your emotional highs and lows are more pronounced. But as you emerge from isolation, you notice a lightness in your being. The emotional roller coaster starts to level out, and you find it easier to handle stress and adversity. Consider the case of Mark, a 45-year-old accountant who went through a rough divorce that led to years of self-imposed isolation. During his isolated period, he struggled with every minor inconvenience, feeling overwhelmed and incapable. But as he re-engaged with the world, he noticed a change. Situations that would have previously triggered anxiety or depression became more manageable. He felt a newfound strength and ability to cope with life's challenges. Mark's journey illustrates how increased emotional resilience is a key sign of breaking free from isolation. One of the most fulfilling signs that your isolation phase is ending is the rediscovery of your passions and hobbies. Isolation can often strip away the joy you once found in activities you loved. These pursuits may have taken a back seat during solitude, whether painting, playing music, gardening, or hiking. You'll find those interests reigniting as you reconnect with yourself and the world. Take the story of Emily, a talented pianist who stopped playing after experiencing a personal tragedy. Her piano gathered dust as she withdrew from her music and social life. However, as she began to heal and emerge from her isolation, she found herself drawn back to the keys. Slowly, she started playing again, first for herself, then for small gatherings. The return of her passion for music was a powerful sign that her isolation phase was ending. Emily's experience highlights how rediscovering your interests can signify a positive shift in your journey. Isolation often takes a toll on your physical health. You might find yourself neglecting exercise, eating poorly, or experiencing disrupted sleep patterns. As you emerge from this phase, you'll notice a renewed focus on your physical well-being. You begin to care more about what you eat, how much you move, and ensuring you get enough rest. This renewed attention to your physical health is not just about looking better, it's about feeling better and more connected to your body. Imagine the journey of Tom, a 50-year-old software engineer who spiraled into isolation after losing his job. During this time, his physical health deteriorated, he gained weight, his sleep was erratic, and he felt constantly tired. As he re-engaged with life, he started small, taking daily walks, eating healthier meals, and setting a regular sleep schedule. These small steps led to significant improvements in his overall well-being. Tom's renewed focus on his physical health was a sign that his isolation phase was ending. Your comfort zone can shrink significantly when you're in an isolation phase. Trying new things or stepping out of familiar routines can be intimidating. However, as you break free from isolation, you'll notice a growing willingness to expand your comfort zone. This could mean trying new activities, meeting new people, or exploring new places. Consider Sarah, a 29-year-old marketing professional who retreated into her shell after several personal setbacks. Her world became very small, revolving around her apartment and immediate neighborhood. But as she emerged from her isolation, she pushed herself to try new things. She joined a local hiking group, took a cooking class, and even planned a solo trip to a city she had never visited. Each new experience was a step out of her comfort zone and a sign that she was moving past her period of isolation. Sarah's story underscores the importance of embracing new experiences as a sign of breaking free from isolation. Isolation can often cloud your mind, making it difficult to think clearly or focus. As you emerge from this phase, you'll likely notice an improvement in your mental clarity and focus. Tasks that once seemed overwhelming become more manageable, and your ability to concentrate improves. Take the example of Kevin, a 37-year-old writer in a fog of isolation after losing a close friend. His productivity plummeted, and he struggled to complete even the simplest tasks. His mental clarity returned as he started reconnecting with his support network and engaging in activities he enjoyed. He found it easier to focus on his writing, and his creativity flourished. Kevin's improved mental clarity was a sign that his isolation phase was ending, allowing him to reclaim his passion for writing. Emerging from isolation often comes with heightened self-awareness and personal growth. During solitude, you may have spent much time reflecting on your life, choices, and future. As you engage more with the world, you'll find that this introspection leads to significant personal growth. Reflect on the journey of Lisa, a 41-year-old teacher who chose to isolate herself after a challenging period in her life. She delved deep into self-reflection, reading extensively, and practicing mindfulness during her time alone. As she began to re-enter the social world, she noticed a profound change in herself. She was more aware of her strengths and weaknesses, empathetic, and confident in her decisions. Lisa's enhanced self-awareness and personal growth were strong indicators that her isolation phase was ending and that she was ready to embrace the next chapter of her life. Another significant sign that your isolation phase is ending is the emergence of new goals and aspirations. When you're isolated, your vision for the future can become clouded or stagnant. However, reconnecting with the world will give you a renewed sense of purpose and ambition. This could involve setting new career objectives, personal development goals, or plans for creative projects. Consider Michael, a 38-year-old architect who fell into isolation after a major career setback. For a long time, he felt aimless and unmotivated. However, as he re-engaged with his professional network and attended industry events, he discovered a new passion for sustainable design. This newfound interest reinvigorated his career, and he set ambitious goals for himself, including starting his firm focused on eco-friendly architecture. Michael's story highlights how developing new goals and aspirations can signal the end of an isolation phase and the beginning of a more fulfilling chapter in life. You'll likely be open to forming new relationships as you break free from isolation. These could be friendships, professional connections, or even romantic relationships. Your willingness to invest in new relationships indicates you're ready to move beyond your solitary phase. Think about Rebecca, a 32-year-old software developer who isolated herself for years after a painful breakup. She avoided social situations and focused solely on work. However, as she began healing, she attended meetups and networking events. Through these interactions, she built a supportive group of friends and met someone special. Rebecca's journey shows how building new relationships can signify a positive shift away from isolation. One of the most heartening signs that your isolation phase is ending is the return of joy and contentment. Isolation can often lead to feelings of sadness and emptiness. As you reconnect with others and engage in enjoyable activities, you'll notice a resurgence of happiness and satisfaction. Consider David, a 29-year-old chef who withdrew from his friends and family after personal and professional disappointments. His passion for cooking waned, and he found little joy in life. As he emerged from isolation, he rekindled his love for cooking, experimenting with new recipes and sharing his creations with loved ones. The joy and contentment he felt were clear signs that his isolation phase was ending. David's experience illustrates how rediscovering happiness is a crucial indicator of moving past a period of solitude. A crucial sign that you're emerging from isolation is your willingness to seek help and support. Whether through therapy, support groups, or confiding in trusted friends and family, reaching out for assistance is vital to healing and reintegration. Consider the story of Laura, a 27-year-old artist who isolated herself from everyone after a traumatic event. For years, she struggled alone, feeling overwhelmed and lost. Eventually, she decided to seek help from a therapist and joined a support group for trauma survivors. This decision marked a turning point in her journey as she began to heal and reconnect with the world around her. Laura's willingness to seek help was a clear sign that her isolation phase was ending and that she was ready to embrace support and healing. Emerging from a period of isolation is a journey marked by gradual and significant changes. The resurgence of social connections, improved emotional resilience, rediscovery of passions, renewed focus on physical health, expansion of your comfort zone, enhanced mental clarity, increased self-awareness, development of new goals, building new relationships, experiencing joy, and seeking help are all signs that you're moving past your phase of solitude. Remember, this journey is unique to each individual. It requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to embrace change. By recognizing these signs and nurturing them, you can confidently step out of isolation and into a more connected and fulfilling life. Whether you're just beginning to notice these changes or are well on your way, know that each step forward is a testament to your resilience and capacity for growth.